Hey guys, welcome to CursorRun. This is our YouTube channel where we talk about all things technical, whether it's technical tutorials, technical how-tos, technical news, or whatever technical is. So in this series, like if you're following my YouTube channel for last few days, we are making a series of Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and DevOps, how DevOps and Finance work together, how do you set up your ALM and how do you set up your build servers, development servers, some branching strategies, pipelines, continuous integration, and continuous delivery. So, if you haven't yet checked my YouTube channel, I would suggest, I would request, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And to catch up with this series, you can watch a couple of previous videos where we talked about how to set up DevOps project with VSTS and how to connect the DevOps Azure DevOps projects with lifecycle services. We also talked about in our last video how to create and deploy a build server, what is the role of agent pool, main branches, and how the build pipeline is built. For how do you create your first build pipeline, etc. So I'm not going to stretch this video more, and today let me show you before we jump on. So today we are going to see how to deploy a development server. We'll create a development branch. We will map our workspace, Visual Studio workspace with the branch, and we'll do some customization so that we can do a check in, check out, and then see how continuous integration and continuous development works. So just to give you a wrap, just to give you a wrap up like what we did in previous session. So we created a D365 F4 project, and then we linked this project with the LCS, and we deployed our build server. If you go to LCS, you see like we deployed our build server called D365F-BLD, and once the deployment was done, what it does is like the LCS scripts behind the scene, what it does is like they create a trunk for you. So this trunk is created with one branch. You can specify this branch and when you're deploying the build server. If you haven't checked that previous video on builds, I would suggest I'll put that thing in somewhere in the card and you can click and see what was there. So it created a main branch with this structure. So metadata is where all your code sits, and projects is where all the projects are created. So just read this for metadata. Just read this readme.txt, pause the video and just go through with this. This is the structure with your models and modules and how the descriptor file should be checked and all that stuff. And for projects, this is how it looks like. You check in all your projects, whether it's X++ or C# projects, and you can define an XML file that can control the sequence of building and all. And along with this trunk and main branch, what build server deployment did is it created a default build pipeline called United Operations Platform, United Operations Unified Operations Platform build main. So it contains one build pipeline, but you can always copy paste this thing and create a duplicate and just work on those pipelines if you want. So let's get back to today's session. So we are going to create a deployment server or development server. So head out to your LCS project, click on environments. So I'm clicking on this environments. You might want to go to a cloud hosted environments and deploy from there, but the process is going to be same. So select your application version, platform version, click next. Topology is like because we are working on development server, so we will select the development topology. You can, for your demos and all that stuff, you can go with the demo, but for today we are going to select dev task. And in previous video we selected build because we were creating a build server, but today we are going to deploy a development server. So select develop, and then give your environment a name. So I'm just going to give it a tab 1, D365F dash tab 1. You can select your virtual machine size, because this is my limited Azure subscription. I'm going to go with the minimum I have. So I'm going with E4 V3 size, and I'll make some advanced changes here. So let's make sure uh, we are using a demo. So here you can select if you want a demo data with your development box, or you want a blank database. So in this case, I'm saying I want Contoso demo data set. I will leave everything as is. I will just change the virtual machine name so that when I go to Azure portal, I can recognize my machine, and I can stop or do auto shutdown and all those scripts from Azure. Yeah, and I will leave the rest of this settings as is. If I discussed all these settings in my last video, so I'm not going to repeat those things again. So select that I agree. Next, deploy. So what it will do is, like, it will put the deployment in deploying stage, and it will take few hours. So what I will do, like, I will pause my video here, and I will wait for deployment to complete. Then I will come back and we'll resume. We'll go inside our development box, and we'll create our dev branch, and we will complete the workspace mapping and all that stuff. So if you see, it created our box D365, created our environment D365 finance dash tab 1. So it's in the queued state. So once it is done, it will be in deployed state. Okay. So I'll just see you in a second. Here we go. So now we have our development box deployed. It's up and running. It took like around 5 to 6 hours to deploy this machine, but let's go forward. Like, so once the deployment is done, you can go to your uh, deployment or environment page. So if you scroll to the right, you will see a list of environments in your LCS project. So we just deployed dab 1. So if you go to the dab 1 environment page, here you will see all the details regarding this environment, like who deployed, when it was deployed, what's the application version on the platform version. So we are on 10 or 11 update 36. So next step is just go ahead and download your RDP or VM connection. This will create RDP shortcut, RDP file on your computer. So save it, and this will be your user ID and password to get into the machine. So I have already logged into the machine. If I go to my, so this is the RDP server where we logged in. So here, just open your Visual Studio, and when you are opening the Visual Studio, just make sure that you are running it as an administrator. So Visual Studio, right click and open run as administrator. It will ask you to log in. Just log in with the valid license, whatever the Microsoft account or subscription account you have. Just use that account which has a valid Visual Studio license. So I'm in Visual Studio now. So guys, I'm just going to complete this walkthrough like a really fast. If you have any question, just drop a comment, and I will try to reply in the comment section. So once you are done, once you have logged in, go to in your Visual Studio, go to the Team Explorer. Here, what we are trying to do is we are trying to connect to our tab branch or our tab 365 project that we created on DevOps. So you can click on Manage, Connect to Team Projects. Yeah, if you logged in correctly, it will show you the it will show you all the servers or all the D365 DevOps accounts you have access to. And if you don't see it here listed here, you can mine was Rahul Sharma, so you can click on servers, add your server, So mine was this. So I'll say okay. Now it will ask if you want to log into your Visual Studio account, whatever the Microsoft account you used into Visual Studio, or you want to use a different account. So I would say I want to use a different account. So this is my D365 account, Office 365 account. Hit next. I'm going to use my D365 Office 365, guys. It's night and I'm sleepy. Why? I don't know why I'm always saying D365 account. It's Office 365 account actually. So let me try to log in. Oops, it doesn't have access. So I forgot which account had access. So let's try with this one if this one has access. Okay, so here we go. So we have added our DevOps project, that DevOps account that we created. Select this one, hit add, and it will show you all the what do I want? Okay, I want to hit close. So you will see that you have selected the particular server or the account, DevOps account, and it will show you all the projects under it. So we want to connect to the D365 App4. So I will select App4, connect. So you go. So if you at this point we are connected to our D365 project. If you click on Source Control Explorer, it will take you to the project. And if you remember, we only have trunk and main so far. So the next step I want to do is, like, I want to convert this branch or this folder into a branch. Then we will branch out a new branch called development, where we will be doing all of our developments. So it might ask you in few points, like you don't have a folder or a branch map to something. So I will just go along with the flow, and wherever it throws any error or a warning message, we will try to cover that up. So right click. So I'm going to convert this folder to a branch. So in order to do that, right click, go to branching and merging, and click on convert to branch, and I will just say convert. So if you see it, the icon changed from folder to branch. So now we have a branch as main. So next step is we want to branch out to main. So what I will do is I'll say branch and merging. So I'm going to create a new branch out of it. I don't remember if it's going to ask me to at least map the root, but let's see. So I'm going to say source is main and the target is dev, and let's see if it works. So it says the new branch will be created and committed as a single operation. So pending changes, whatever. So it's all new. We don't have anything specific. So I will just say continue this branch. So it created a new branch called dev with all the elements like metadata and everything. So, and if you see now in the pending changes, it's all clear. So let's go, let me minimize and go to the DevOps project. So in our DevOps project, I'm on Azure DevOps in our D365 F4. So right now we only have, oh, we got, okay, it's refreshed. So we got our dev branch here, right? Everything looks good and fine. So this way you create your you convert your folders into branch, and you create further new branches out of the main or tab only. So in this example, I just created tab. So you can go ahead and, depending on your branching strategy, you might have like one main, then tab, then some release branches. So main can be your testing branch, where you do all your testing and all that stuff. It might look something like this. I think I have a, So in this case, like you might have, you start with the main, you create a dev branch. So all your development goes into a single development branch. Once you are done, once we are done, and you can have like a continuous integration on this thing where it does a continuous base. Whenever you check in your code, it will try to do a act as a gatekeeper and see, and will prompt you instantly like if you are going to break the build or not. So you work in the dev branch. Once it is done, we merge the dev branch to the main branch, and we create our test builds and everything from the main branch. And when we are ready to push to production, we can push that particular label or build to the release branch. So this is one branching strategy that you can use. And some people, I like to keep it straight and simple, but you can have multiple dev branches based on your goals or development teams. So some people have might be having like multiple dev branches for individual developers or individual teams or individual what do you call functionality, etc. But I think that makes things a little bit complex when you want to do like a reverse merging or forward merging and all that stuff. So that makes it harder. So for example, for smaller projects only one branch is enough, but for a little bit larger projects you can have like this kind of a structure. Again, this is flexible, nothing to do with D365. It all depends on your DevOps administrator or build administrator, how he handles the branches and how he wants to take it forward. So let's move back to our development machine. I am in Visual Studio. So we have a dev branch. So next step is we want to uh, create a mapping so that the metadata folder and the projects folders are mapped. To do that, you can go to File menu, Source Control, and Advanced and Workspaces. So this is so what we are doing is like we are mapping our workspace, DevOps workspace, to the local repository. So hit add, edit, and we want to map two folders, metadata and projects. So for metadata, select the repository. So sorry, so we are working here in this. So I will select dev metadata, and you want to map this with your AOS service local packages. So this is your AOS service where all D365 stuff resides. So we want to map our metadata with the packages local directory. Select it, OK. So this is all good. So the next folder we want to map is projects, where we are going to store our Visual Studio projects. Whether we are creating a C# project or X++ project, everything is done in Visual Studio. So this is the place where your projects will reside. So select projects. You can pick any location on your computer. So just for the sake of it, let's select this. OK, and now click on advanced. So I usually change the permission from private workspace to the public workspace. That helps other developers. If there are other developers who wants to use the same machine but with their login, their DevOps login which connects to the DevOps project, so they can still use the same workspace. Okay. It says one or more working folder version do you want to get latest. If you already have a code in here, you can do yes, but it's our brand new branch, we have nothing in there. So I'll say no, I don't want to wait another few seconds to complete the thing. So now if you once you hit OK, you will see that your metadata is mapped to this and your projects are mapped to projects folder. Okay, so I think that's all you have to do uh, to create and set up your development box. So this completes our session on creating and deploying a new development server, or we converted our main folder to main branch. Then we extracted or we branched out a development branch where we will be working. So that's it. I think that's it for now. So, and next session, what we are going to do is like we will start with the customization. We'll create a model, we'll create some objects, we'll modify some objects, and we'll check in those objects into our development branch. And we'll see how the continuous integration works with automatic check-ins and automatic build creations. And then we will also see how to upload those projects or how to release those builds to the LCS or deploy directly to the sandbox D365 servers. So guys, I think that's it. I will end this video now. And guys, before you go, if you like the content, if you want me to produce these kind of contents in future, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Twitter handle. And till then, just this is COVID days, so just guys stay safe, stay home, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.